Okay, thanks, Michelle. Hang on the phone for me for just a second here, because we're just walking now. I just want to be confirming that our signal isn't cutting out. Though it sounds like there's a little bit of a delay between when I'm talking here and when you're seeing me on your end. All right. If you could hang up on me, that'd be great, because my hands are in gloves. All right. Thanks. Goodbye. Thanks. All right. Hello, everyone. I am JT with Status Coup. JT Siskowski out here with the irreplaceable John Farina behind the camera, here for Status Coup, reporting in conjunction with the Midas Touch Network. And if you detect a little bit of pep in my step or a little bit of excitement in my voice, just know that it is because there are thousands of people out here converging on downtown Minneapolis for the general strike march and rally here in the downtown of the city. We have been watching so many people stream past us and gather here in downtown, where we are expecting a march from just outside of US Bank Stadium. That's where the Vikings play, all the way to the other side of downtown to the Target Center, which is the professional basketball arena here in the Twin Cities, where there will be an indoor rally. And this is all to call on the Trump administration to remove ICE and other federal immigration agents from this city and to end the suffering and the pain that has been inflicted on these families and on these communities who have been forcefully separated as a direct result of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policy that began with Operation Metro Surge here in the Twin Cities area in early December. We have been on the ground since that operation, shortly after that operation began. That operation continued into January, early January, when the Trump administration announced that it would be deploying 2,000 more agents to this city. And on the first day of that surge, Renee Good was shot and killed by ICE agent Jonathan Ross. And right after she was killed, the Trump administration sent another 1,000 agents here into this city to further ramp up the pain and suffering that was being inflicted here. And this city has been pushed to the brink, and people have described it to me as feeling like being pushed into a corner by this administration. And they feel like they have no other recourse than to initiate a general strike that has been led by a coalition of labor unions and other organizations, calling on the entire state of Minnesota to shut down for one day as a flex of economic strength, to show what true people power looks like, to show the popular mandate, the popular mood here in Minnesota that they want the Trump administration to remove itself in the form of its agents from their communities. We are not even at the protest yet. We are already in stop and go traffic as people all try to pile in here. I think it is no exaggeration to say that this is going to be a demonstration of tens of thousands here in downtown Minneapolis. And I'll note that the group right next to us has just spontaneously started singing as we walk into downtown Minneapolis for the beginning of this march. I reference that coalition of unions and other organizations who have organized this strike and march. It is an impressive collection of groups out here that really does seem to be carrying real weight behind its effort. I have gone this whole time without noting what the temperature is outside. As of right now, it should be about -10. It feels colder with the wind chill. Earlier today, it reached a low of -22 degrees. And yet we are seeing tens of thousands of people taking to the streets here in Minnesota in a popular demonstration of mass rage against the Trump administration and rage. That is the emotion that I have heard Minnesotans express more than anything else, not only about the Trump administration's immigration enforcement actions, but also about the killing of Renee Good, a mother who was taken from her family and taken from her community far too early in life by the government that claimed to represent her and to act on her behalf. And these, all surrounding me, are Americans, are Minnesotans who paid their taxes and have seen their taxes come back to them in the form of tear gas, in the form of retribution from immigration agents, and in the form of bullets that entered Renee Good. An independent autopsy recently came out of Renee Good's killing, which showed that Renee Good was not killed with the first two shots that Agent Jonathan Ross fired. One entered her forearm, the other her breast, neither of which hit any major organs. But it was the third shot, the one that could, I think, regardless of your political orientation or predisposition to law enforcement, you would agree that was fired from the side of her vehicle while Jonathan Ross was most assuredly out of the path of any moving vehicle, regardless of Renee Good's intent. That was the shot that hit her in the head and killed her, according to this new independent autopsy. John is turning the camera and showing here we are now walking down the street where cars are being caught in the throngs of people who have taken to the streets here in Minneapolis. I want to say something here really quick before we get into any situation where our signal might cut out. We've had difficulties with our equipment in this extreme cold, and also difficulties with just getting a signal out of this massive crowds of people who have taken to the streets here in Minneapolis. I want to say that the biggest thing you can do to support us is also the smallest ask I can make, which is to just like or share this stream. It gets it out to more people and helps tell social media algorithms that this is what people want to see. They want to see the true news of what is happening here on the ground in Minneapolis. So please like, share this stream. We greatly appreciate it. It helps get the word out. And in addition to that, if you would like to go a step further, please subscribe to ourselves and our partners at the Midas Touch Network. We are grateful to them for helping give Status Coup this platform in our reporting here in the Twin Cities, which has been going onward for 2 months.
We're going to try and make our way to the front there. Come to the side.
And lastly, and perhaps the most impactful thing that you can do would be to subscribe to us here at Status Coup, become a paying member. That is what sustains our on-the-ground reporting, our efforts like what we are doing here right now, showing what the will of the masses is here in Minnesota. And that is by going to statuscoup.com/join. For as low as $5 a month or 16 cents a day, you help support our truly on-the-ground independent reporting that we do here in Minnesota and in states and cities across this country that have been victimized by the Trump administration's immigration enforcement agenda. We reported on Alligator Alcatraz when that concentration camp in America opened. We reported on immigration raids outside of New York City court appearances that ICE was conducting. We reported on the immigration enforcement efforts in Los Angeles. We reported on the occupation of Washington, D.C. by forces sponsored by the Trump administration. And we reported on the occupation of the city of Chicago. For 2 months we were on the ground there. Then we moved and followed Border Patrol agents as they terrorized Charlotte. And now we have been in Minnesota for more than a month, nearly continuously. Doing so comes at great expense to ourselves. It costs us nearly $15,000 a month to be able to show you these scenes that you're seeing on your camera. That is for our hotels, that is for our travel expenses, that is for our gas, as we move around the city and document ICE abuses as they happen in real time. That is for salaries. That is for the myriad of expenses that we incur just to be able to keep our gear running out in this Minnesota cold. So anything that you can do to contribute to our efforts is greatly appreciated. I'm not even sure if we are still live because there are so many people here in downtown Minnesota. It may be very possible that with us competing with all of these different cell phones and other media organizations that we are unable to get our signal out to you. If we can, and if you are with us, thank you for being with us as we show what a general strike in the United States can look like. When labor organizations and others decide to lead the way, the people will follow. We have been hearing these public calls. We have been hearing public calls in Chicago and here in Minneapolis for weeks and months at this point. People have been telling us that they would love to participate in a general strike if someone would just lead the way, and Minnesota is choosing to lead the way out here and show what one day of action, of no work, no school, no shopping can look like. The way a city, a region, a state can be ground to a halt if the people choose to stand up and speak with one unified voice as one collective whole, and that is what we are seeing on the streets here. My guy.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I interviewed you about why you wanted to be out here today?
Yeah, sure.
What's your name?
Ian.
Well, let me come in front of you.
Yeah. We'll keep walking, Ian. We'll keep walking with you.
Yeah.
Because we're live.
We're back. Cold column, make sure we're back.
Excuse me, you gotta meet the rest of the family. Excuse me. Ice out! Ice out! Oh, I didn't realize it.
We're back. All right, thank you. All right. Ian, I apologize. I'm going to start things from the top here again.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know when our signal would have cut out. I apologize to everyone. We are dealing with the weather as one technical hindrance on our broadcast here, and the other one that we're dealing with is just the sheer size of this crowd to be able to get a signal out to you. But I am here with Ian, who has the distinction of being the first person here from Minnesota's general strike that we are interviewing. Ian, which is spelled I-A-N. Ian, I want to start just by asking, what made you want to be out here today, a part of this crowd of tens of thousands?
So this is a show of solidarity. It's a show of community. It's a show of, strength in numbers to show that we are organized, we are together, we're all one in this.
All one in this. And that sense of community that you're talking about there is something that John and myself have talked about at length as a silver lining, if you want to call it that, of the demonstration of the power that the Trump administration seems to have invoked by these crackdowns in cities. It's really brought communities together. What are ways that you've seen community coming together here in Minnesota aside from these mass demonstrations?
Yeah, well, like you said, as a silver lining, this has given us motivation, kind of sparked organization within communities that we've never had before. Neighbors meeting neighbors, neighborhoods all banding together, forming groups, having community meetings, talking about what we can do to keep our community safe. And people have banded together. We're building something, a network of neighbors in this city that I don't think they're prepared for.
When you say that you don't think they're prepared for it,
I think they really underestimated what we can do to keep each other together, to keep us safe, and to show solidarity.
So how much fortitude do you have here? You're up against a federal government, a Trump administration that has at least 3 more years in power, assuming that they don't pull any shenanigans with elections to try and push it any further than that, but and has billions of dollars at their disposal. How much fortitude, wherewithal do you have within yourself, and do you see present in your community? Do you feel like you can go the distance?
Well, they want to break us down. They want to divide us. They want to make us feel powerless. And what we're seeing here today is that together we do have power. We have power to resist their regime. We have power to come together, to organize, to look out for each other. And they're not going to stop that. They're
scared of us.
They're scared of us. Yeah.
Status Coup. Everyone donate right now.
I'm saying, all they have is force. They don't have love. They don't have the strength of community. They don't have the togetherness that we do. And, they're doing this in January. We're used to this. Like, they think this is going to scare us. We deal with this every year, the winter.
This is another Friday in Minnesota.
Exactly, yeah. So, they don't think we're strong, but we're strong.
All right. So I want to just ask about how you feel in this moment to be surrounded by so many other members of your community all saying effectively the same thing in the broad strokes that you are saying. How does it feel to be surrounded by this level of community?
It feels great to be here. This is a scary time. I think all of us would agree we are scared because what they can do, what they've been given jurisdiction to do, ignoring rules, ignoring laws, doing whatever they feel like, using whatever the force they want at the time. It's scary, but seeing everybody come together, it galvanizes you. It gives you spirit to keep going.
I want to be sure to get you to react to a little bit of current events here, which is that an independent autopsy of Renee Good's killing was recently released, which found that the first 2 shots would not have been fatal. She was struck in the forearm and in the breast, but no major organs were in that line of fire. But it was the 3rd shot that hit her in the head, the one that I think is pretty undisputably fired from the side of the vehicle, if not all of them being fired from the side of the vehicle, as like the New York Times review of video has shown. When you hear that she could have survived the first 2 shots and it's the 3rd that actually killed her, what's your reaction as someone who lived here in the Minneapolis area and shared Thank you. Yeah, I see it on the screen now, John. Are you able to see us? Okay, sweet. All right, he's got it.
All right.
Yep, take it. Thank you.
Did you drop something else?
No, I got it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we're back live.
All right, I'm going to record too.
Yeah.
Ice out! Ice out!
Ice out! Ice out! Ice out!
I apologize to everyone watching at home. We continuously lose signal here. It's a combination of the weather wreaking havoc on our gear and on the just sheer number of bodies down here in downtown Minnesota that are all the phones that they're carrying, all of the media cameras that are also trying to get out a live signal, all competing for that signal that's cutting us out on occasion. Ian, I wanted to bring you in just for that last question one more time about justice.
Yeah.
What would you like to see to try and make this city as whole as it can be in the wake of all of the pain that the Trump administration has inflicted here?
Well, as our Attorney General Keith Ellison has said, there's no statute of limitations on murder, and state charges cannot be pardoned by the president. And I have faith that he's willing to pursue murder charges against Jonathan Ross for the crime of killing Renee Good. In terms of what will feel like justice, for me, justice won't be served until ICE is abolished. Dismantle the entire organization. We don't need it. It doesn't need to exist. It was only created in 2003. It's not a department with a long history, and what they've turned it into is far from the mission that it was even started to begin with. So I will not feel justice until ICE is gone.
We've seen factions within the Democratic Party that have expressed an unwillingness to call for the abolishment of ICE. What do you say to those leaders right now in what is supposed to be the opposition party in this country?
They're cowards. They're afraid to stand up for what's right. They're afraid to stand up for their constituents. ICE is not popular. I think it's at I don't remember the numbers, but the disapproval of ICE overall is negative in the country. Within the Democratic Party, it's insanely high. If they're not willing to vote for ICE to be abolished, they should be primaried. We need politicians who are willing to do the right thing.
Ian, anything else you want to add while you have the platform?
Fuck ICE.
Thank you for being patient with us through all of our technical difficulties, and thank you for talking to us. I appreciate it. Yeah. One voice in tens, if not hundreds of thousands. I will note that over the last 15, 20 minutes, John and I have barely moved 50 yards here in downtown Minneapolis as we have to make our way through the entirety of downtown. There is no hope, I will say, no hope that the ultimate destination here, the basketball arena that we are heading to, is going to be able to contain the thousands upon thousands of people who are out in the streets to speak out against the Trump administration. Some of the signs that I am seeing held aloft right now read, "Neighbors say ICE out," read, "Deport ICE," read, "Loading, justice, error, due process not found," read, "Monsters are real," with press clippings about some of ICE's operations here in the Twin Cities area. Read, "ICE out now." Read, "Fuck ICE." And people right now chanting, "ICE out, fuck ICE." These are spontaneous chants that are emerging in the middle of this protest, because wherever the front of this protest is, John and I have not found it. We have not found where this march begins. We don't know where it ends. We are just somewhere here in this sea of people that are making their way through downtown Minneapolis right now. And you, looking out over this crowd, get a better sense than I for how far this protest truly stretches, because I'm not able to get up as high as John is with the camera.
Somebody's calling me. What is it?
This says Status Coup. Probably Jordan?
I don't know. Just call and make sure everything's okay. Let's go on this side.
Hey, Jordan, were you just trying to call John? Okay, wonderful. Yep. Yep, I'll hit it. All right, bye. We're good. I'll take this moment here just to pause and speak to a moment about what this general strike really consists of. We are talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of businesses closed here in the Twin Cities area and across the state of Minnesota. We are talking about thousands upon thousands of people who are not working, students not going to school. We are talking about a near cessation of all economic activity here in the state of Minnesota. That is what this is about. It is about grinding to a halt the gears that are within the masses' control. Grinding to a halt this state as just a flex, because this is one day's strike. This is not an ongoing strike. This is one day, just for the Twin Cities area, for the state of Minnesota to show what one day of true resistance against the Trump administration could look like if they are pushed to the point of needing to do this in a more prolonged fashion. Hey, would you mind if I interviewed you guys about why you want to be out here?
Immigrants are welcome here.
Yeah. No. All right. Pardon me. Would you mind if I interviewed you about why you wanted to be out today?
Sure.
All right, John.
Get these guys here.
Yeah.
Get Maggie.
Well, one at a time. One at a time.
You gotta walk with me.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. We will. This is my camera. All right, can you see us? All right, we're good. Okay. Mia, sorry about that. We are dealing with all kinds of technical difficulties here. Weather and the people are really getting to us. But Mia, I wanted to find out, why did you want to be down here out in the streets in Minneapolis today?
I'm here to support my community. We want ICE the fuck out of our streets, out of our neighborhoods.
What are the ways that you've seen the Trump administration conducting itself in your neighborhoods, in your streets, that make you so concerned?
Pepper spray, force, abuse, knocking into people's homes. Just complete disrespect for our humans, our lives, and our communities.
You are dealing with not only the pressure of a strike. Any kind of strike is going to involve sacrifice, missing work, etc. But you're also dealing with the conditions out here. How are you trying to cope with all of that, with the condition, with the cold, and with missing, potentially work or school to be out here?
It's worth it. We're Minnesotans. This is nothing for us. We're here for our community. We show up for people. That's how it goes.
So this so far is just a one-day general strike. Would you support something perhaps more prolonged if it came to that?
If it's going to get them the fuck out of our streets, then yes. We want them out. We want them out of the fucking streets.
How does it make you feel to be surrounded by at least tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of fellow Minnesotans here in your streets as part of a general strike? How does it make you feel as a person to hear them all, crying out the same message that you're here to deliver?
It's empowering. I mean, under horrible circumstances, but we show up for our community. We inspire people. We lift people up. We take care of each other. That's part of being a Minnesotan, and we showed up today.
And why don't you tell me a little bit about that message? I see that your sign says ICE. It's giving fragile masculinity. Can you tell me a little bit about the message that you came out here to deliver today?
Yeah, these guys are coming into our homes, coming into our neighborhoods with huge fucking guns, huge fucking vests on, and we're showing up completely unarmed, and we're still pushing back. We're still resisting, and we're not afraid of their fucking macho masculinity that they're showing up with.
Just yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance paid a visit to Minnesota here in Minneapolis, not far from the Target Center where we're marching to right now. And he came to say that it's really agitators who are causing the violence out here. You just made a reference to the fact that you're out here completely unarmed against armed agents. Could I get you to speak to, where you think the Vice President is incorrect in his assessment of what's happening on the ground here in Minnesota?
He's not in the fucking streets. He's not seeing how they're treating people. They're showing up with huge rifles. They're completely, fully packed with bulletproof vests and everything. No one has a gun here. No one has pepper spray. No one's doing anything violent. We're peacefully standing up for our community and our community members. He has no fucking idea what's going on.
If you could deliver a message directly to the Vice President, to the President, or to ICE agents, if you had that opportunity to sit across the table from them, what would you say?
This is what resistance looks like. Your force, your fear, your power is not going to make us turn away. Get out of our fucking state. Go focus on the actual problems in our country that you're causing.
What are some of those actual problems in your life that you feel like ICE's billions of dollars in budget could go to actually address and help you or your family members, people close to you? What are some of those problems?
Abortion rights, women's rights, school education, making sure that everyone has a fair start at life, getting people out above the poverty line, giving them resources, getting them job resources, stopping homelessness, preventing people from being on the streets in the cold like this without any shelter. Why are we invading other fucking countries? Why are we even threatening invading countries? Look at the climate, work on climate change. The list goes on. Everything but what you're fucking putting money towards.
Mia, I wanna get you to address some current events, which is that an autopsy, an independent autopsy of Renee Good recently came out that showed that she likely would have survived the first two gunshots that Jonathan Ross fired. One would have just hit her forearm and the other her breast, but it was the third shot, which I think is pretty indisputably fired from the side of the vehicle when Jonathan Ross is no longer in the path of that vehicle, that hit her in the head and killed her. When you hear and from what you saw in the video, I mean, what is your reaction to that use of force against a fellow Minnesotan?
She was unarmed, leaving her house, just trying to go about her day. She said, "I'm not mad at you," and he pulled a fucking weapon on her. Why do we have guns out in the streets like this already? But then to shoot not one, not two, but 3 times because an unarmed citizen, because an unarmed citizen told you she's not mad at you and she's trying to go about her day. What does that say about how scared they are? How inflated their fucking egos are? And why they're being told they're here? To scare us? It's all completely unnecessary. Why was there even 1 shot fired? We don't need these guns. We don't need this kind of violence in our streets to get people to make the right choices. And that's not even what she was doing. She was just trying to go about her fucking day. There's no reason for the violence.
Just trying to go about her day, and yet is shot and killed children who do not have a mother now because of that Trump administration's sponsored violence that they are, using your tax dollars for in order to carry out here on the streets of Minneapolis. Mia, thank you so much for talking to me. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say while you have the platform that I haven't asked you?
Yeah. I'm so proud of Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, Minnesota for showing up. This is how we support our community and fight back against a dictatorship, authoritarianism, and we're here to show what we can do with peaceful protesting.
Mia, thank you very much. I appreciate the time. Pardon me, sir. May I interview you?
Yeah, sure. Can you give me a second?
Yeah, you need that, John?
Can you hold that?
Yeah. Got it. Yep. We're giving John just a minute here to get warm, get comfortable. I'm holding the camera for him. It is a lot for him to manage because as much as you see me doing here, navigating this crowd, asking questions, or and dealing with the temperatures out here, John's doing it all while walking backwards and holding a heavy camera and tripod and video equipment and live equipment here. So we try to give him breaks where we can to just be able to reset and be ready, so that way we can go the distance, because we have to walk across downtown Minneapolis and then get inside to the Target Center here for the rally that they plan to hold here in the city.
Our streets.
All right. All right. Can I start just by getting your name or how you want to be identified?
Name is Nate.
Common spelling?
Yep, common spelling.
All right, Nate. Why did you want to be out here in the streets today? Why did you want to participate in this general strike?
Well, I'm here supporting all the people of Minneapolis, all of organized labor across the country. I'm a labor union member myself, Minnesota Law Student Labor Union, and just showing the power of organized labor across the state today. We're shutting down the state, we're shutting down the economic activity in the state today, and we're taking to the streets to tell everyone that this is not okay and that the authoritarian government that is blossoming here in the U.S. needs to be shut down.
I think the power of that labor movement
Absolutely.
cannot be denied
Absolutely.
when you're standing in the middle of this crowd. I want to apologize for these technical difficulties that we're having. Here it is negative 10 degrees without the wind chill. Thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate it, Nate.
Student of journalism myself.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice.
That's what I studied.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
We're back. All right. Thank you, Colin. Please hang up on me. All right. We are back with Nate. I apologize. The stream keeps going out. We are dealing with cold weather, and we are dealing with this massive crowd trying to get our signal out. But I am still here with Nate. Nate, the question I was just asking you was about a prolonged general strike. Would you support something that is longer than a day? Because I think, from my perspective, this is meant as just a shot across the bow, so to speak, to show the Trump administration what the masses are capable of if they are pushed to the limit and needed to take a prolonged general strike. Would you support a prolonged general strike to curb immigration enforcement actions that the Trump administration is taking?
Absolutely. I think that I was just talking to some colleagues on the way over here, and I think the way you get there is you have to do actions like this, where it is just one day. You have to build the infrastructure out. You have to get people privy to what's happening, and you have to get organized labor all on the same page. As we know, that can be difficult sometimes. But absolutely, I would support a longer general strike. And you know, you've seen across the last couple of years, labor unions across the country are starting to line up their contracts to end in May of 2028 so that we can have a general strike, an official general strike, in May of 2028. So absolutely, I would support a longer general strike.
What would you want that longer general strike to call for? You know, it's a strike for what? What would you hope to win in the end if it came to that?
Well, obviously, all of the different contracts ending at that point, I would want all the workers to get everything that they're asking for. Additionally, the abolishment of ICE. The American people have spent almost $1 trillion on ICE over the last 20 years. I think it's around $900 billion that we've spent on the Department of Homeland Security and on ICE. And that money could be going towards universal health care, universal basic income, public transit, high-speed rail. I know you guys like that are watching. And, you know, a lot of other things that we just don't need this bullshit on. They are terrorizing us. They're not doing anything productive for us. And all that money could be going to many other places. You see a lot of Minneapolis teachers out here today. Minneapolis teachers could use that money. They've been on strike a few times over the last 2 years. They could use that money to help our students out.
All right, so one of the things you called for in there was the abolition of ICE. And there are members of the Democratic Party, the nominal opposition party federally in this country, who are not adopting that position. What's your message to those elected officials right now who are thinking that abolishing ICE is going too far?
Oh, man, they suck, dude. So, I mean, one of them, Angie Craig, our representative in Minnesota, she sucks. She's running for Senate here in the state, and she's one of 5 or so Democrats. I don't know if it's 5, but a couple of Democrats that voted for the Lincoln-Riley Act, which gave all this money to ICE. And now we're reaping what we sow in that regard. So if those Democrats are not going to get on board, they need to be primaried. All Democrats need to be primaried. We need to have competitive primaries so that we are putting out the people that best represent us. But those people need to be replaced. And they need to be replaced.
Just yesterday, we saw J.D. Vance pay a visit here to the Twin Cities area, who really tried to portray ICE agents as the good guys, as just coming to the rescue of this city. Is that what it's felt like here on the ground? And is there anything in particular about the vice president's messaging that you want to push back on as somebody who lives here in the Twin Cities area?
Yeah, I mean, you've been talking to people all today, and they've all said the same thing. The people that are keeping us safe here are the citizens of Minneapolis. Everyone out here who are in signal chats and in rapid response groups, we are the ones who are keeping us safe. The Minneapolis Police Department is not keeping us safe. Hennepin County Sheriff is not keeping us safe. ICE are not the good guys here, and that is so obvious to anybody that's watching. And I hope that everyone across the country knows that. I know that it is. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're seeing a full bear walking through the crowd here.
Minneapolis is a weird city, and we love it. But yeah, I mean, it's obvious to anyone watching that ICE are not the good guys. They're terrorizing our city. Just 2 days ago, I think now, we saw a 5-year-old kid taken into ICE custody, used as bait to try and get his dad outside of the house. And they're just disgusting people, as you know, the president might say. I'll turn that back on him, but it's awful. They're awful.
when you see these daily scenes, you just described the 5-year-old who was used as bait to lure out other family members by ICE agents and has already been deported to, or excuse me, not deported, but sent to Texas as part of the deportation process. Just yesterday, there was a girl in the south side of Minneapolis who couldn't have been older than 3 years old who was apprehended by ICE. When you see these, just day after day, these scenes of brutality being carried out here on the streets, what are the emotions that come up inside of you? I mean, do you even have anything left to give at this point in terms of an emotional response to what the Trump administration is doing?
Yeah, it's difficult. A lot of people in this city, I know we can feel it in our bodies. Just 5.5 years ago now, and it's been 5.5 years since George Floyd was murdered here, and we're getting a lot of the same emotional reactions in our bodies of just the constant consumption of just brutality. You add there's been obviously things in between that too, genocide in Gaza, just brutality everywhere, and it's really difficult sometimes, especially some of us here are students and we have to carry on with school. And yeah, it can be difficult to keep going, but when you come to events like this and you see how many different kinds of people are out here, and really just the reaction of the whole community here has been unbelievable. And I think you guys aren't from here, you guys I'm sure have seen that, unless you guys are from here, but we are very organized here. We've gotten much more organized since 2020, unfortunately, out of necessity. A lot of bullshit has happened here, which has caused us to we have figured out that the only people who are going to keep us safe at the end of the day are our own neighbors.
Nate, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it. I'll let you get back to the protest.
Status Coup. Everyone donate to Status Coup. Get in the super chats. Get these guys some money. They deserve all of it. Long-time listener, first-time caller right here. Thank you.
Nate, I should just hand you the microphone. I appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Stay safe, guys.
So I guess just to echo Nate, I will say that, any support you can give us right now is greatly appreciated. Super Chat's always appreciated. But really the best thing you can do is to get subscribed to sustain us on a monthly level. It is only $5 a month. We are out here in the Minnesota cold. And there's going to be a lot of media that's going to try to claim that it is somehow reporting on the entirety of what's happening here in the Twin Cities area by just showing up for, a day or two around the general strike and acting like they have told the full story as to what's happening on the ground here. John and I, aside from a break around Christmas, our relief in the form of Zach and Will, our other freelancers who filled in for us for a short time, we've been on the ground here since early December, since Operation Metro Surge first began here in the Twin Cities area. That's how committed we are to telling these stories, to showing this on-the-ground perspective. John and I both have families that we want to get back to. We both have daughters who we are not seeing right now because we believe that these stories are important.
see where my other glove is?
I got it. Hey, you got us? We just replaced the battery. Oh, sweet. Thanks. Bye. It's so cold out here that our brand new fancy large battery that we have for our camera failed. So we had to move on to our backup batteries, which is why we're glad we have backups upon backups here. Whew. But that should give you a sense. It is negative 10 degrees at the best of times when there's no wind. I don't even know what the temperature is when there's wind. This morning it was getting down to negative 40 in the feels like temperature, and we were out broadcasting in that. And we're out broadcasting in this because we believe it is important to show you these scenes of what is actually happening on the ground here in the Twin Cities. We don't want the only messaging that gets out there to be Trump administration propaganda that is then parroted by mainstream or corporate press. So if you support that mission, that what we're doing here, and if you just want to give us a kudos for broadcasting here in the frigid cold, it's not that bad. All right. Thank you very much, Colin. Please hang up on me. Bye. Okay. So we continue to deal with signal loss issues because that crowd is so massive, and we're competing with cell service with for everyone in order to be able to get this live stream out. And this is even with our fancy live streaming equipment that takes advantage of multiple cell networks to be able to get everything out. This is just the camera nerd in me sharing some information with you, but just goes to show how big that crowd is. So we're actually trying to get...
Is this it?
No. So we're just trying to get to the Target Center right now. We're walking away from the crowd so that we don't have to deal with any of these signal loss issues anymore, hopefully. And then you'll be able to continue so we can continue this broadcast. And then when we get inside the Target Center, there's going to be a massive rally. So first we need to get inside the Target Center.
Can you find directions?
It's still to the east here. Or to the west, excuse me. Yeah. We keep going this way. Yeah, we're seeing, in the cross streets here, we're seeing this massive crowd as it moves through. And we're kind of just shadowing them a block over. And we're trying to avoid just walking into them. And I got to pull up my mask here because it is so cold. The benefit of being in the crowd is that it actually restricted the wind. And now that we're out here, the wind is whipping in the face. Woo! And that makes it feel a hell of a lot worse. The temperature out here. So that was the last thing I was saying right before our signal cut out. Oh, the best thing you could do to support the work that we're doing here, and we're recording a lot of this that we do. So even if you have signal loss issues, a lot of what you're seeing here without the interruptions will be posted to our YouTube channel after the fact. So get subscribed to our YouTube as well as our partners at Midas Touch and the Midas Touch Network. We're grateful to them. But the other thing that you can do is to subscribe to sustain the reporting that we're doing, this hard work that we're doing in the frigid cold, the coldest day that Minneapolis has had so far, certainly so far this year.
Somebody's calling me. Hold on.
Can't be losing us already, can they? But we're still live, right?
Yeah.
Looks like on the back? Okay. Oh, so the best thing you can do to support us is to go to StatusCoup.com/join. For low as $5 a month, you go to support the on-the-ground reporting. On the ground. Shoe leather reporting. You know, the kind of journalism that you would think every outlet should be doing, but isn't. I can't emphasize to you enough. Since Renee Good's killing, there has been more media here. But for the month before, when the Trump administration was still launching its whole immigration crackdown here on the Twin Cities, I'd look around at a lot of the scenes where we were, and it's just John and I. And that's it. There's no local press, no national press. The locals are always better because they live here.
We need to find where Target Center is.
Yeah. It's right there.
Where?
Right there.
So
if we go, it's just.
Yeah, I want to see if we could cut a certain way. If we go down one and then.
Yeah. Are we on? Okay, so we're on 5th right now. 5th is leading up. Here. Okay.
Yeah, this is 5th.
And then they're all on Hennepin right now. It looks like. So. If we, I think we actually want to go up to 5th and maybe cut up past the crowd another block.
I don't want to go with the crowd. So, if we could, is it like that way?
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking is if we go across the crowd.
Okay.
John and I are feeling directionally challenged here in downtown Minneapolis. We're focused more on the broadcast and on our sense of direction, and we're trying to just get to the Target Center without going with this crowd of hundreds of thousands because we don't want the stream to keep dropping for all of you. But that just goes to show the size and the number of people who are out here.
Hey. Thank you.
We keep running into fans, so I guess that's good. Whew. Please go to StatusCoup.com/join. I keep getting cut off as I try to make the plug. Try to pay the bills here. Because it costs us $15,000 to be out here. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. We're doing this on-the-ground shoe leather journalism. It costs us $15,000 to be out here. Please go to StatusCoup.com/join before our signal cuts out again. And it probably won't. I think we're doing good here. Hey, what's up? Hey. Good. And now everybody's asking John how his fingers are because John sustained the kind of dedication that we have. The kind of dedication that we had, John was live at a scene in weather not too dissimilar from how cold it is out here right now, and gave himself frostbite on some of his fingers. to be able to cover how the Trump administration was literally trying to freeze out a couple of workers who were stuck on a roof. And John's still recovering from that, and it happened last month. Whew.
You want to interview anybody?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Howdy, sir. What's your name?
My name's, I'm not scared to show my face.
Hell yeah.
My name's Scotty Ducharme.
Scotty. All right, can I get you to spell that really quick?
Yeah, SCOTTYDUCHARME. If you need the phonetic alphabet, I've gotten very familiar with that this week.
Oh, yeah? No, I think I'm good. So, Scotty, you were just referencing I'm not afraid to show my face. ICE agents in this community, as I make this point, I should probably show my own, but ICE agents in this community have always gone around masked. I'm curious, what is it about ICE's operations and the federal government's operations here in the Twin Cities that prompted you to take to the streets today?
Well, the Ku Klux Klan used to call themselves the Invisible Empire, and they wore masks, and they used to raid immigrant communities, much like ICE is right now. And so I think that, there's like all this talk of revolution. We're the counter-revolutionaries, right? I mean, there is a minority who is trying to create a post-law, orderless, lawless society where their might makes right. And because, they have guns and are willing to use them, they think they can suspend the Constitution, suspend habeas corpus, suspend civil liberties, generally speaking. And, there was a memo that came out that said that they think they can break into people's houses without warrants, basically just like trust us, which is, fundamentally against the Fourth Amendment. And so if you look at the amendments, I mean, they're trying to tear down the First. They've gassed people, they've shot people, hit people with beanbag guns and batons for exercising their First Amendment rights. They don't want people to, exercise their Second Amendment rights, and certainly their Fourth, but also the 14th. Basically they're attacking the whole Constitution. I mean, there's even jokes that at some point the quartering troops amendment might come into play for the third, for the first time since, when? 1779 or something, right? Like that one's pretty much laid dormant until now.
So let's describe your sign here. It says "Classic Nazi Blunder: Invading in Winter." I've been watching a lot of World War II history videos lately, so I understand what you're saying. But for the folks at home, can you explain what your sign means?
Yeah. So obviously, Hitler rose to power during a time of like unrest and economic downturn, targeted immigrants and minorities, much like the Trump administration is now. Got way too big for their britches and invaded, the Soviet Union, Ukraine, Poland, Czechoslovakia, etc. And, thought, oh, well, it'll all be over, and then they got bogged down in winter and lost, got their asses kicked. And so, I mean, ICE coming here in winter, they're not prepared for it. We are. And they're like roving around trying to execute whatever their mission is. It's completely asinine. First of all, like, all the vulnerable people would be hunkered inside anyways. It's like -15, and they certainly are now. So the efficacy of the mission is at its lowest ebb. And, all the Minnesotans who've been here for generations, like, it gets 40 degrees colder than it is right now. And we're prepared for that. They're not. Like, their vehicles won't even start.
Scotty, are you somebody who protests regularly, or what prompted you to get into the streets?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I protest. I was at both the No Kings protests. I was at some of the NAACP marches after George Floyd for police and carceral reform. I'm not out here, like every weekend or whatever, but, I try to get out there, yeah.
Try to get out there. All right. So what? I wanted to get your reaction to Vice President, J.D. Vance's visit yesterday, where he tried to really frame ICE agents as the good guys out here. That they're just trying to maintain law and order, and it's actually agitators who are causing all of the unsafe conditions. As somebody who lives here, and is very close to the community. Can you speak to, who is really causing? Is the vice president's assessment correct, or where is he going wrong?
Yeah, Vice President Vance went to law school and he knows better. So when he says that ICE has, complete or total immunity, he knows that that is absolutely wrong. And so he's just lying. And so when he comes and says ICE are there's agitators, that's not true. And the deal is this. When you hire a bunch of people, you give them, many of them like 47 days of training. But even the ones who are well trained, like the man who shot Renee Good, if you give a guy a beanbag gun, he's not going to go the whole protest without firing it. When the toys come out of the toy box, they're going to get played with. So when they give people gas, when they give people beanbag guns, and when they give people just pistols, they're going to use them. And that's what happened. And so it's incredibly irresponsible what they did. And ICE is absolutely the aggressor. I've seen them gas people in my neighborhood a block from my house. I ran into Bovino even before I was engaged in protesting, just standing on the street antagonizing people. They've shot people. They drive around like complete maniacs, blowing stop signs, blowing red lights, ripping up and down. They mock the protesters. There's no professionalism among the ICE agents. Oh my bad. Thank you. I'm a law professor and lawyer, so I watch a lot of body cameras of police officers interacting with the community, including very violent, very mentally unwell people. And, sometimes I have very sharp criticisms for how the officers act. But by and large, your average police officer has a much higher level of professionalism, including when dealing with high or mentally ill, violent citizens than our ICE agents have when interacting with even other cops who might be off duty, and regular members of the public. So they're completely unprofessional.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Is there anything else you want to add while you got the time?
I would just say, America is a creedal nation. That's what binds all of us, not a race, not a nationality. And it only exists if we believe it and act on it. And so I think that's what you're seeing is people, living out the American's creed here and saying, hey, the Constitution means something to us, and it will be enforced. Otherwise, you'll face the wrath of the people.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Your name one more time?
Scotty Ducharme.
Scotty. Thank you so much, Scotty. And I just want to emphasize something that Scotty was saying there, which is this idea that he encountered Greg Bovino, who is a Border Patrol commander leading many of these agents, just standing on the street one day. He encounters him, and that's because these agents are so omnipresent. There are 6 times as many Trump administration immigration enforcement agents in this city as there are Minneapolis police officers. So let that sink in. How often in your life do you encounter a police officer? Now imagine there were 6 times as many Border Patrol and ICE agents in your community. You start to get a sense for how occupied this city really is by the federal government. And John and I can attest to this through firsthand experiences. We're driving around looking for ICE and Border Patrol. I mean, there are some days when they're more present than others, but by and large, it is easy to find them. It is easy to find them. You go around a corner, you're basically tripping over them. They're everywhere in this city. They're everywhere. And so it really feels, it's not an exaggeration to say that this is a city under federal occupation, because they really are occupied. We've just arrived at the Target Center. We've just arrived outside the Target Center. Did you want to do an interview?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, what? Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your name?
You don't recognize me? All these thousands of people you see?
What's your name?
I'm Megan Dolby-Jones from Epiphany UCC Church in North Center.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Oh, sorry. So, can you spell that really quick for people?
Of course.
Just the first name's fine.
Sure. Megan, M-E
for this, for the technical difficulties. We're competing with Signal.
Quincy, you were on your way to warm.
Thank you very much, Colin. All right, hang up on me. Thanks. All right, so, Megan, I apologize. I'm okay. So we just went out there as I was introducing you, so I just want to do that really quick. So John and I were on the ground in Chicago for 2 months during Operation Midway Blitz as that city was being occupied by the Trump administration and being victimized. And during that, we spent a lot of time outside of the Broadview, Illinois ICE detention facility, where there were a lot of demonstrations being led by clergy. Megan, you were one of the ones who was leading some of those demonstrations.
I wouldn't say leading, but I was there.
You were there. You were present for some of those demonstrations.
I was,
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get a sense from you. You're up here from the Chicago area. Megan, why did you feel the need to come all this way to be a part of this demonstration?
Yeah, well, there's a whole coalition of queer affirming, multi-faith, radical liberation-seeking clergy of all traditions that called March.
We should be back. Then.
You got a signal out. Hey, are we back? Sweet. All right. Thanks. Bye. Okay, folks. We are outside the Target Center, which is where this march was heading to. John and I are going to try and get inside now. So, John, let's try and get inside the Target Center because hopefully in there we'll be able to have a bit more of a stable signal because it'll be a condensed number of people inside that building. There is no way in hell that everybody who is at this march is going to be able to get inside the Target Center. Whew. And if you've been with us this long, God bless you. God bless you for sticking with us through all these technical difficulties, the weather that we're contending with out here. It is negative 10 degrees without the wind, and the wind, as anyone in the Midwest will tell you, is what really sucks it out of you. Whew. John, let's get across the street. Oh, there you go. Lost you. Whew.
Oh, shoot. Is the...
Thank you,
What's that?
I think the rally's right here.
Love you so much. I'll be here all day. It was about 20, 40 degrees warmer. So appreciate y'all. Spread love. Take care of one another.
door's open back there.
Yeah.
Do you know Minneapolis at all?
These people would be able to.
I feel like it's
Pardon me, guys.
hey there.
We're looking for media. We're trying to get inside for the rally. Is it still planned to be held inside the Target Center? Do you guys know?
I heard that it was just going to be used as a warming center.
Oh,
the event is over. But I would try to flag one of the media, like the liaisons. This guy in the blue hood would know.
Blue hood right here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Pardon me.
We'll see you in like 10 hours. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yes.
I was told to come over by a media. Are you a media liaison?
I am not.
You're not. But I was told that you were the guy to speak to for some reason.
He's a great guy to talk to.
I am a good guy to talk
Great
to.
guy to talk to.
Yeah.
We were just. We knew that the goal was to hold a rally over here. Has it already happened?
Yeah, the rally's inside.
Inside. How do we get inside?
So it only seats 20,000 people, so we had to do free tickets just to kind of control how many. It only seats 20 folks. I would bet if we went up to the main door, they let media in.
Yep, we registered as media. I'm just trying to figure out where to go.
I think the main door is down in the corner in here.
All right.
Yeah.
John. We have. Sorry. We have to go. John, this way. Yep.
Oh, come here. Come over here. This is JT. JT's our reporter. She just wanted to give a message to Jonathan Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a message for Jonathan Ross. Go for it.
All right. Why'd you do it, Jonathan? Renee wasn't mad at you. There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right.
You hear that? You know, that rage that I was describing earlier in the stream. This rage that so many here in the Twin Cities were describing. Feeling out here. We're trying to get inside the Target Center. The main entrance is down this way for the rally. So that's where we're headed right now. As we do so, now would be a good time to ask you, I suppose, to subscribe to Status Coup and our partners at the Midas Touch Network. Because we'll be putting out all of our recorded reporting, a lot of it that we're trying to put together from all the work that we do when we're not live down here. We'll be putting it out on those channels. So getting subscribed is certainly one of the best ways to support us. Got to force our way through, John. I mean, there's...
It's going to be too difficult. We're going to lose service again.
John, where are you trying to go right now? I mean, I do really want to try and get inside for the rally. If we can get in, we'll be seated with media. I'll try and call Mercado, find out. Hey, are you inside? No, you're not. Oh my God, you're kidding. Holy hell. Mercado's... We're outside the doors. We're trying to get in. There is just a mass of people. Were you given any special instructions for media to get in?
so we just keep it. We're not going to be able to stream it.
All right. Yep. All right. Bye. He's blocks away. He's screaming the whole march. So you really don't want to try and get inside?
We're not going to be able to stream. Huh? Better if we need to be inside here.
What's that?
We're better if we need to be inside
All right.
Unless there was another way we could get inside.
Yeah. I asked him if he got media instructions for getting inside. He said no. Yeah. I was going to start doing interviews. Yeah, what's up?
No, you good.
You good? Pardon me, sir. I'm pressed. Would you mind doing an interview about why you want to be part of the march today?
Would you mind if I don't?
No, okay. I can't control what you do.
Yeah, I think. Were you guys in REI like on the roof floor? Yeah, we were. I was the guy that works there sitting with you guys.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey,
yeah.
We've been in there many times.
Yeah. Just wanted to.
We wouldn't be alive without REI and the help that you guys gave us. So thank you
so much for coming out.
Of course.
Now, if you wanted to.
Status Coup,
Yeah. Would you guys mind if I interviewed you really quick about why you wanted to be out here?
Sure.
Yeah, John.
We should be out of the
Yeah, all right. So, if you guys could just a little bit. All right. So, if I could have you start just by spell your names for me really quick.
Ann. Minnick, M-I-N-N-I-C-K.
And Ann is spelled
A-N-N.
okay.
No, E the best way.
Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E. Nealis, N-E-A-L-I-S.
All right. What made you folks want to be down here and be part of the general strike today?
Well, we've been protesting for I don't know how long, and we were like, finally, there's a big movement happening, and so we wanted to be here.
Finally, a big movement happening.
We've been going to New Kings. We go to a weekly pop-up protest. We've been to I don't know how many things since Renee Good was killed. But it was so amazing that there is this call for a general strike, and so many people came, and businesses stood up. So that's why.
We're outraged at what's going on in our state. Our immigrant neighbors and friends, people close to us, are being taken off the streets. And this deal here where Elam was abducted and his father has turned this state completely into a state of anger and frustration over what's going on. The Trump administration is making an example of Minnesota, and they're breaking every law and pushing everything they can to test out what they can do constitutionally and legally and beyond. And if anybody in America thinks this is a unique situation, they're coming after you. And that's why one of the reasons we're here, we love our immigrant neighbors. We want ICE out of Minnesota.
And so I want to address that. You're saying that the Trump administration is making an example out of the Twin Cities area, out of the state of Minnesota. What do you feel like through this just continued ramp of pressure? It started with Operation Metro Surge back in December. Now we're up to 3,000 agents being deployed here today. What is the message? What is the end goal the Trump administration is trying to achieve in your minds?
Well, they say it's to root out fraud, but ICE doesn't have anything to do with fraud. We have a small immigrant population relative to the size of our state. So the only reason that they're here is because we didn't vote for him for the last 3 elections. He thinks that it's been stolen, and he's just going to try and make an example of us. And if he can make Minneapolis break, if he can make Minnesota break, then he's going to go to other states as well. So it stops here, stops now.
What about you, sir? What do you feel like is the message that's being sent by the Trump administration right now with some of these tactics that are being carried out on the streets, like the abduction of a 5-year-old?
Well, they also have subpoenaed our state's leadership. There's no reason that they need to be in Minnesota, period. And as long as this country tolerates this kind of activity on our streets and in our cities and our towns, There was 300 ICE agents out in a suburban area here last week for a bunch of days. They set up roadblocks. They drew guns on a person delivering food. They need to be out of here. They're out of control. They have no business here. We are done, and we will win this fight.
How does it feel to be surrounded by, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say, hundreds of thousands of other Minnesotans, friends, neighbors, out here all saying, essentially the same things that you are? What's the feelings that come up when you look out over this crowd?
Amazing. It's amazing that so many people came out, and I feel that we're going to be successful because we're together. We're together as Minnesotans.
It's inspiring. It's inspiring to see our fellow Minnesotans come out and voice their opinion and their anger on the streets. And we have people from all over the state that come here today as well. So it's not just Minneapolis or St. Paul. Suburbanites, out of people in the greater Minnesota, and our own folks here in Minneapolis. The trains, the buses were full coming down here. We're going to win.
This is my last question for you. This is a one-day general strike. Would you support something longer to send a more sustained message to the Trump administration?
I think it's hard for working people. It's hard for families to continue to do something. But if the momentum is there and the businesses are supporting us, I'm retired. Like, this is what retirement looks like. More time for protest. But it's a big ask when we don't have a unionized state the way that they do abroad, where you can have a general strike and you still get paid. So, but yes, I think it's a good thing. I just recognize the challenges it has for everyday people.
The other thing I want to say is, you look around here, probably 80% of the people here are young people, and they are the future of this state, and they are angry at what's going on to their fellow citizens and the immigrant neighbors.
Thank you both very much. I'll let you try and get inside. I want to note here that John and I have called an audible. We were originally going to go inside and stream the rally from inside the Target Center, but the rush of people towards the door is so intense that we're abandoning that plan. We're going to stay out here and stream this crowd as it continues to arrive and try to get inside the Target Center. Can I get you to hold on for just 1 second for me? What's that? You want to talk? Yeah, come here. Sorry, what's your name?
Tonnie.
Can you spell that for me?
Tahnee.
So, Tonnie, my name's JT. It's nice to meet you.
I watch your stuff.
Oh, well, lovely.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, why did you want to be a part of this mass demonstration today? Why did you want to be a part of this general strike?
It doesn't even feel like a want. It feels like a need. As I was marching, I was literally crying because I'm just like, I love all these people. I'm not from Minneapolis. I'm from up north, but I've lived here a really long time, and I really care about my community, and I'm really afraid of the trajectory of the country. I think that this is, obviously we've lived through multiple unprecedented events, and this one is an absolute nightmare. So I have to get bodies on the ground, and so I'm here solo.
You talk about that the tears welling up as you're marching with this crowd. Can you describe some of the emotions that you are feeling?
Yeah, a lot of anger, honestly, and it kind of melted into just appreciation that everybody is together. I feel like these types of demonstrations and disruptions to all this is the one thing giving me hope. There's power in numbers, and I know that, and we got the numbers. So it was a mixture of anger and appreciation for everybody, and being able to talk to people around me as like my comrades, and it's been, it was a lot, but so probably both of those things.
This is just a one-day general strike. Would you support something more sustained as a way to send a message, or more national as a way to send a message to the Trump administration?
Oh yeah, make their pockets hurt. That's it. Like, disrupt things, gum up the works, all that good stuff. I did see some places that were doing it in solidarity with Minneapolis. I feel like that's really important, and I hope it catches on. I hope more people do it, and I'll be here when it happens. So,
you'll be here when it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, are you prepared to go the distance here with this administration that has 3 more years in power, billions or trillions of dollars at its disposal if it wants to? I mean, do you feel like you have the fortitude, the wherewithal to take that on?
Absolutely. Have to.
Why do you say have to? What is the sense of duty there?
It's really just doing my part. You know, this affects people that I know, and not that is the only thing that matters, but I have friends affected by this. My neighbors have been affected by this. I've been really sick to my stomach seeing everything, and as somebody who is not being targeted and pulled out of my home, I feel like I need to be out here so they can stay at home and be safe.
So not only are you dealing with the people being pulled out of their homes, etc., but you're also contending with the idea that a myriad of other issues that are already on people's plates, the state of the economy, etc., etc. What are some of those problems in your day-to-day life that this administration is not dealing with? How are you suffering directly?
Yeah, I mean, as a working class, middle class person, coming from a working class background, it's absolutely devastating to see how, people are not able to afford rent. They're not able to get groceries. They're not able to find transportation. And I really my hat says it all. It says no pity for dead billionaires. And it's just, I feel every day, how much harder it's getting. I'm a single person. I have to live alone. And so I have a lot of responsibility because of that. And a lot of it is watching people around me as well. But yeah.
I'll let you try and get inside here if that was your intention. Good luck.
We'll see. Thank you
Good
so
luck
much.
trying to get inside. I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
Let's see. Fuck ICE. Fuck them.
The number one response I get to that question here in the Twin Cities area. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. Yes, of course. And one thing I want to note is I was just on the phone before we did those last couple of interviews. I was just on the phone with another independent media voice here in the Twin Cities area. I was on the phone with Andrew Mercado of Mercado Media, and he is blocks away from where we are right now, and he is still streaming this march as it's still making its way through the streets of Minneapolis. And as he described it, he said, quote, "This is the biggest march I've ever seen, the biggest demonstration I've ever seen." So that is what we're dealing with here. We are dealing with something that is truly unprecedented, certainly for the Twin Cities, an area that is already known for its activism and not being afraid to take to the streets and demonstrate against what it sees as injustice. And this is the level of voice that you are getting out there. This is the number of people that are making their voices heard out here.
Status Coup, you guys rock.
Thank you. Well, you got quite a few fans here in the audience. Could I interview you, sir?
Sure. Yeah.
What made you want to be first of all, what's your name?
Benjamin.
Benjamin, common spelling?
What's that?
Common spelling?
Yes, common spelling, yep.
Benjamin, what made you want to be a part of these demonstrations today?
Well, I'm from Wisconsin. I lived
fellow Badger.
Hell yeah, dude. I lived in Minnesota for a little bit years ago, lived and worked here. I come here all the time for music, shows, festivals, etc., and so many other things. The nature up in the northern part of the state is beautiful, and the people in Minnesota are amazing. Every single thing about this place is wonderful, and watching what's happening over here from my hometown in Wisconsin, it's heartbreaking, and I felt like I had to be part of this today. I responded to March's call to action for clergy from all over the country to come to Minneapolis today to be part of this with everybody else.
Benjamin, when you look out at this crowd and you see how vast it is, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say hundreds of thousands of people in the street here. When you see how massive this demonstration is, what are the feelings that come up inside you?
It gives me hope that this isn't going to last. And
when you say this isn't going to last, what is this?
This regime, the ICE takeover, the Trump lies, Epstein not being released, everything that's going on right now that's causing pain in our country, it needs to stop. We need to figure out how to come together to unite as one people and stand up for our neighbors and just be one again, you know?
A question I've been asking just about everybody I've talked to here today is, this is just a one-day demonstration. Would you support a more prolonged general strike as a way to send a message to this administration?
Personally, yes. I think general strike might be the only way to get through to people. I know the reality of a general strike happening is going to take a lot of effort and a lot of people to prepare for it to happen. But if you can, start setting something aside. Prepare yourselves for a longer general strike. It's what it will take to fight this administration and to get through and make what needs to happen.
What would you want a longer general strike to try and achieve? What should be its demands?
I mean, equality for one, first of all. No harmful treatment, abolish of ICE. I could go on. I'm not the best person to give.
Let me seize on that abolition of ICE. There are members of the Democratic Party right now, the nominal, not national opposition party in this country, that are not calling for the abolition of ICE. What do you say to those elected leaders who do not support the abolition of?
I say they need to get on board with the rest of the American people. ICE has only been around for a little over 20 years. We can abolish ICE, and we can set up a new program that is that fairly treats immigrants and that makes the process of immigration easier for people to get into this country legally. The setup, the process we have right now, it takes people way too long to get through it, and the rules and things in place, it almost makes it impossible. So yeah, I think they need to start standing up if they really want to show their support for the American people. They need to use their voice, their platform, their positions in power to do something about it and stand with the American people, or they're not going to get elected again.
Or they're not going to get elected again. What is your grade that you would give to the National Democratic Party, to its leadership in this moment?
If I could give lower than an F, I would. All of them need to go. There's a few good eggs in there. Ilhan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders. You know, some of them have been supporting Israel, though, too, and we don't fund genocide here. We shouldn't be funding genocide, so all of you need to stop doing that, too. So,
Benjamin, thank you for your time. I'll let you try and get inside here if that was your goal. But before I let you go, is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
You know what? If people can come out and stand up, you don't even have to be on the streets. Show your support online. Show your support on social media. Talk to your friends and family. Have those hard conversations. That's all it's going to take to get us all on the same page again. God bless America.
Benjamin, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate it. John, I want to just get us moving a little bit so we're not standing in one spot, just to generate a little bit of heat. So let's just maybe try and cross the crowd just over to the opposite street corner here. So we're going to get up and move here, and that's really just for our own sake, because it is. I wanted to stay here because of the sun. Oh, John wants to stand in the sun, and that's fine. I just need to move around a little bit is the only thing. I cannot continue to stand, and I was also a little bit in the shade. But it is already bitterly cold out here. I was around -10 at the start of the march. I do not know what it is right now with the wind chill. No doubt my boss has texted me what that number is, what that feels like temperature is, because he loves to let me know what he sent me to stand in. Jordan, if you're watching, don't get me wrong, I love it. But so we're out here in the streets of Minneapolis, where hundreds of thousands of people right now are trying to gain access to the Target Center to hear a rally at the end of a march through downtown. A rally, a march that is in response to the Trump administration calling for an end to ICE in the Twin Cities and in the state of Minnesota, calling for a removal of those federal immigration officers. Whew. And I gotta put up my mask. And if you hear me yelling, by the way, it's because I can barely hear myself over the 2 layers that I have here on my head blocking my ears to try and stay warm out here in these sub-zero temperatures. If you support the work that we're doing, these voices that we are lifting up from this crowd to show you what a truly popular demonstration, is like here, so you're not just seeing the Trump administration's propaganda. If that is a mission that you think is worth it, please go to StatusCoup.com/join. Sir, I wanted to talk to you because you're carrying this large Palestinian flag. Why did you feel it was important to bring the Palestinian flag to this general strike? Why is that a symbol that you wanted to be carrying?
Yeah, I think it's a sign to show that injustice matters no matter where it is, whether it's in the streets of Minneapolis or in Gaza we have to show up for injustice no matter what, and I think it's just a reminder that, we're in solidarity with them, and as they're in solidarity with us.
I don't think anyone would pretend that what the American people are going through right now under the Trump administration is in any way identical to what the Palestinian people are dealing with right now in Gaza. But do you see any parallels? Where do you see those parallels, that sense of solidarity that you were just referencing?
Yeah, I think in terms of how we support each other and how we've been able to build that community, but also in the forces that oppress both of us. I see there's a lot of similarities between ICE and the IDF, and how they're blatantly oppressing and violating human rights and making it difficult for people to live their daily lives the way they should.
I'm looking at you. You've got icicles clinging to your eyelashes right now. It is cold out here. Why did you want to be out here in these temperatures? Why did you want to stand with all of these hundreds of thousands of people out in the streets right now in downtown Minneapolis?
As a Minneapolis resident and as a human being, I think it's my right. I have to be out here. I have to show support by any means possible that I'm able to, and this matters. Showing up matters. Voicing my words matters, and supporting matters.
You use the word "have to." I have to do this. Why does it feel like something that you are like duty bound to do? Why is it a need and not just a could or a should?
Yeah, I'm Muslim, and one of the basic tenets is to support each other and to stand up in any way you can. If you can't use your hands, use your feet. If you can't use your feet, use your voice. And it's a part of my tenet as my faith as a Muslim to be out here and to show support and to show that I'm against what's happening in Minneapolis.
What would a sense of justice for Minneapolis look like? You're dealing with a city here that had one of its community members shot and killed. Can't begin to make that whole. You cannot undo that final act. But what would justice for Minneapolis, for the state of Minnesota, look like?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what justice look like in terms of indefinitely, but I think a good first step would be ICE's removal from the city and some type of steps towards some type of peace, because right now it just seems like there's a lot of chaos going on. So I think that would be the first step.
You're participating in a one-day general strike. Would you support a more protracted general strike?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What should a protracted general strike call for? Maybe even one, if you wanted to imagine it, like at a national level, what should a prolonged national general strike call for?
Yeah, I think collaborating with other states to replicate what happened here in Minnesota and Minneapolis would be a good first step, and then going from there.
All right. Is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
No, I'm just happy that we're out here. I'm happy you guys are showing the world what's happening, and stay safe.
Thank you. And before I let you go, just when we show you on screen, we'll put like a name or an identifier below you. How would you want to be identified?
Minneapolis resident.
Minneapolis resident. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yep, you too. Oh. You seeing that sense of that broader struggle with that symbol of the Palestinian flag, this broader calls for justice out here. It's not just something that's being shown at this one demonstration. It's been at protest after protest that John and I have been at. It's not necessarily in the form of the Palestinian flag always, but that sense that the people of Minneapolis, even though they are dealing with these direct injustice, violation of rights, and an occupation by their own federal government, there is still a sense from the Trump administration, or there is still a sense of the people on the ground here that they are in some way indebted to other calls for justice elsewhere. Oh. Hey, it's brutally cold out here.
Two of the leaders from the church protest
have been released from jail. John is getting in breaking news right now that two of the leaders of the city's church protest, which is a protest that happened here over the weekend on Sunday, two of those leaders have been released. Two of the people who are accused of participating in that protest by the federal government and who were apprehended in raids earlier this week have now been released from jail, and that's something that some of the activist community here have been calling for, is the release of people that they see as being apprehended purely as a political stunt because they were arrested on the day that Vice President J.D. Vance had come here. And so they are calling for the release of those people as a means to try and push back on the Trump administration's propaganda that it has been trying to put out, as if there is sort of any sort of like anti-Christian violence or anything like that in this community. It's meant as a sign to push back, and no doubt the activist community will be grateful for those people's release, but it is in no way an end to what is happening here in this city right now. John, we got to move a little bit closer to the crowd here.
We'll move it.
The wind is howling down the streets here.
Santa's here.
Santa is here in the crowd.
Love your show.
Thank you very much, Santa.
Watch you all the damn time.
Don't
want my face on it. But.
Okay. Well, a little late now, Santa.
That's
But,
all right. Cheers.
Cheers. Santa Claus out here in the crowd in January. You'd think this would be his time off out of the year, but here he is in this crowd of protesters. I was just asking John to move, one, for my own sanity so I can keep warm because the wind is whipping down this street right now, but two, I wanted to get a little bit closer to the crowd to try and find some more interviews. Because we're not getting inside the Target Center, which, by the way, thousands of people crammed inside the Target Center right now. Whew. I'm going to try and grab someone here. Pardon me, folks. I'm a reporter. I'm interviewing people about why they wanted to be part of the protest. Would you mind if I interviewed you really quick?
Sure.
All right. If I could start just by getting names or how you want to be identified here.
Sam.
Sam. Common spelling, I assume.
I'm Bree.
Bree, and how's that spelled?
B-R-E.
Thank you. And?
I'm Katie.
All right, so I got Sam, Bree, and Katie. My name is JT. This is my cameraman, John. First question is just real basic. Why did you want to join the general strike today?
It's just important to support our fellow Minnesotans. It's really just messed up what's been happening, so we just wanted to come out and support.
I think we're just angry like everybody else, and the cold's not going to stop us, and we're here to just show that we're all going to stand together no matter what.
Yes, we need those members to support our community. A lot of people that are getting taken, it's terrible. It shouldn't be done the way it is done, nor at all. We work in an industry where a lot of those people work for us, and we want to support them and make sure that they can go home safe, be treated fairly, and it's unfortunately not what we're seeing right now, and that's why we're so fucking pissed off.
You fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from fucking pissed off, are there any other emotions that you feel when you see the Trump administration occupying your community in the way that it has? 3,000 agents on the streets here. What are those emotions that come up when you see those scenes on the streets here every day?
Horrified is one that comes to mind. I mean, disgusted, appalled. Yeah, it's just disgusting what's been happening in our streets, the abductions, the murder. It's just vile.
I think we're just scared. Like, a lot of us are scared not just for ourselves, but our friends, our family, and our neighbors. It's hard to watch, and it's difficult to feel like you can't do anything, and that's why I think people are here today.
Yeah, I mean, it's appalling. Everyone's seen what happened. I can't believe other people find it to be okay. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing that that's part of the U.S. right now, but we're going to get rid of it, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm hearing echoes of embarrassment here.
Yeah.
I want to get a sense, though, maybe turning to more positive emotions. What are the feelings that come up in you when you look out at this crowd of hundreds of thousands that are out here today to join in this protest, in this general strike? What are those feelings that come up within you?
Yeah, I mean, our sense of community around here is very strong. We take care of our neighbors, we take care of our community, and it's been heartwarming to see all the people out here supporting the cause, yeah.
Yeah, heartwarming for sure. It feels good to support each other, to be here for everybody. And I don't know, look around, it feels fucking great. The turnout is absolutely insane, and it just proves, that we're willing to show up.
Feels warm.
Feels warm in negative 10-degree temperatures. These Minnesotans built difference. My God, I'm a Wisconsinite, and I am amazed at the fortitude out on display here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get a sense from you. What is the message that you feel is being sent to the Trump administration with this demonstration, with this general strike?
That we don't put up with fascism. We don't put up with abductions. When ICE has nobody to report to, you have to report to us, the people of our community.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to protect each other, and I think it says a lot about the fact that we're not scared to be here and to do what needs to be done.
Eat shit, Trump administration. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, we're here. We're going to be here for as long as it takes, so, yeah.
Just yesterday, we saw Vice President J.D. Vance come here to the Twin Cities and use it as his backdrop to try and taint ICE agents as the good guys out here, that they are in some ways like rescuing children and the like and trying to keep the streets safe. To your mind, are the ICE agents the good guys? And assuming that you're going to say no, how would you characterize them?
They are not the good guys. They are the ones coming into our community, causing disruption, abducting people, causing fear in the streets. I mean, I know personally most people in my life are scared to go to work and to go to the grocery store. People who are here legally, citizens, are terrified of these agents. And I just think that's obviously not the goal here.
I want to pause there for a moment just to highlight that we're talking about American citizens who are feeling afraid in this moment. It is not just immigrants feeling that fear. It is everybody here. When you have 3,000 armed agents who have already demonstrated the willingness to use lethal force to shoot and kill somebody, it is instilling a sense of fear in this community. How would you characterize for the Vice President, what is the message you would send to him about what it is like on the streets of the Twin Cities right now?
I mean, I would say that they are the villain of this story, and it's very clear. I've never felt more unsafe than once ICE came in. You know, we were happy, free citizens, you know, supportive of each other, and everything has changed. People are afraid, not, like you said, not just the people who are actively afraid for their children and their family, everybody around them as well. Yeah. Definitely the villains of the story.
Yeah, this is an immigrant-built nation, and we love our immigrant community and neighbors, and we don't want them to go away. They add to our community. They add to our culture. It's disgusting and appalling, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I find him to be very contradicting to himself from what we've seen the past few weeks. That's fucking embarrassing. Yeah, I don't feel his support, obviously. Yeah, I don't really have other words than just not a fan, obviously.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Yeah.
Get the fuck out. I want to talk about getting the fuck out. Aside from ICE agents leaving your communities, what would justice look like for Minnesota? How do you begin to make the state, make these cities, these communities whole after what the Trump administration has done here? What would make you start to feel like, yes, that is right, something good is happening?
I mean, I think you can start by getting the president out of office, by getting ICE out of our city. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think there's unreparable damage to a certain extent right now. You know, it's going to take us time after George Floyd just happening not too far before, you know, now. It's just the city's damaged. Yeah. But that's what shows like this, like, we'll stand together, but it's going to take time to heal no matter what.
For sure. We're still healing our community from George Floyd, so, I mean, getting out is the first step, and then obviously bringing families back together would be amazing, and charging the people who are involved in making the decisions to be lawless and to attack our citizens.
Yeah, I think impeachment is a good start. We'll see how that goes. As you can see, we have a very strong community here, so we'll build together. We'll get back to where we were. A community always needs healing no matter what state they're in, so it's going to be continuous throughout however long, you know, we'll be here. So we'll do it. We'll rise together, and hopefully in good times after all this is over. So,
is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform before I let you guys go?
We're Minnesota strong. You can't come into our streets and fuck with us like that without getting something back.
Agreed. Yeah, we're here to stay, so good luck.
Thank you all. I appreciate the time. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Stay warm.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah, stay warm. We are back. All right, thanks. Hang up on me. Bye. All right, we are back. Thank you for joining us. And we take a look here at some of the signs here in the Twin Cities. General strike protest and march as more people try to make their way inside the Target Center. Pardon me, sir. Pardon me, man. Would you mind if I interviewed you about why you wanted to join the protest today? Would you mind if I interviewed you about why you wanted to join the protest today?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, what's your name?
Let me just spell it. My name is Ununice.
Ununice, can you spell that for me?
Y-U-N-I-S.
Ununice. My name is JT. My cameraman's name is John. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Why did you want to join the general strike protest today?
Well, I think it's important that our voices are heard, that, we don't want this to turn into 1930s Germany. And if we don't come out and we don't show our voices and we don't show that we care about humanity, we care about each other, then, we wonder why people in the 1930s were quiet. And now with cameras and everything, we need to show that we weren't quiet. History is going to look back at all the people that didn't show up. Their grandkids are going to ask them, what were they doing? And so that's what I'm here for, and I think that's what majority of the people are here for. We care about each other. We care about our community. It's like negative 10 degrees, and we're all out here. And this shows just how important this is to all of us. So,
where does that sense of importance come from? What are you seeing on the streets here every day that made you feel like you needed to take the streets?
All the stuff that you see on the internet and all the stuff that they're trying to make normal, that isn't normal. People care about each other. When you see a 5-year-old child getting abducted, then that makes you feel something. That makes you feel like, and they say that people out here are paid. Who's getting paid to come out here in negative 10 degrees? No one is getting paid to be here. I know for sure I'm not getting paid to be here. So, I think this is maybe the second protest I've ever been a part of. So, and if it being this cold, it just shows how important it is.
This is your second protest you've ever been a part of. What forced you into the streets here? Why did you feel like this rose to the level I cannot stay at home?
Yeah, I think everything that's been happening for the past year prior to that, it's been leading up to this. And, you know, I just can't keep quiet anymore. I can't keep quiet anymore. I can't be on the sidelines. I want my face to be shown. I want to be one of the people that showed up. And it just makes me so proud to see all of these people. You know, when I came, I didn't know how many people were going to be out here. I got off work and I came right away. And when I saw all the people that were here, I was just proud. I was just proud. And I'm proud to be here. And, you know, I couldn't even find gloves, but I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I couldn't find gloves. I tried to go to Target and they said they ran out. So I said, you know what? I'm still going to be out here.
Out here without gloves, just to be a part of what is happening because it feels that important. Ununice, I want to ask you, would you support a strike that lasted longer than a day? Would you be on board?
Absolutely. Absolutely I would. Absolutely I would. If we had to come back out here tomorrow, I would come back again. However long it takes for everybody to know, like, this is what people care about. People care about each other. People want to be out here. Yes, I will show up as long as I have to.
As long as you have to, what would you want a prolonged general strike to call for? What should be the change it pushes for in the world?
I want, the thing that's going away, I feel, is people are losing their humanity. And I think it's because of rhetoric and what people are saying. A lot of people don't realize that everybody else breathes and, you know, uses the bathroom the exact same way that you are. You know, so we should care about each other. I think that's what it should come down to. You know, no one is illegal. People are people. People are humans. And when they're here, we should stand up for them. When they're not here, even when they're being oppressed overseas, we should still come out here. But now it's in our backyard. We didn't think this would happen in America, but it is. And so, you know, we need to come out now. If you're not coming out now, when are you going to come out?
If not now, when? That is the message that is being delivered with the people here in the streets of Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, in downtown Minneapolis right now. If they don't stand up now, when will they have the opportunity to do so? Ununice, are you at all worried about the erosion? Are you at all worried about the erosion of your rights? Because we've recently seen that the Department of Homeland Security, or ICE, is directing its new hires that they no longer need to get judicial warrants in order to force their way into homes. Are you concerned, and you're expressing there this sense of, if not now, taking to the streets when? Seems like almost like you might be worried about your First Amendment right to protest. Are you concerned about the erosion of rights under this administration?
Absolutely I am. I think, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. It's been slowly inching towards, you know, getting our rights taken away. Right now it's illegals. But then what do you know next? They're talking about people that have been here, that have been born here, that were citizens. They're talking about revoking their citizenships. Things like that are now just words, but someday they're going to be actions. But I think if enough people come out and if we show up, as long as we have to, then we have a chance. We have a fighting chance.
Ununice, is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
I just want to say I'm proud of everybody that's here. I think that's just what's making me so proud. I've lived in Minneapolis my whole life, and, you know, I've never seen anything like this. This is just making me proud, and I hope we continue.
Thank you very much. Take care of those hands. Be safe, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh. People out here without gloves. That's insane. Hundreds of thousands of people in the streets. Some of them aren't wearing gloves. What is happening here in Minnesota? I think that just goes to show the passion that the people are experiencing here on the streets and the way that they are feeling, the sense of injustice they have. You're hearing from them themselves, the way that they are worried about their rights being taken away, that if they do not take the streets in the way that they are right now, dancing in the streets in negative 10-degree temperatures, if they don't do this now to send a message to the Trump administration, they may not have the opportunity later. That might be taken away from them as the Trump administration continues to ramp up its immigration enforcement efforts, as it continues to grow the ranks of ICE. Yeah, and John is pointing out, that as you've seen the stream of people come behind us here as I've been doing these interviews, moving past the camera, there are still people blocks in that direction that have not arrived at the Target Center. It is hundreds of thousands of people that are out here in this cold right now, out here to make their voices heard against the Trump administration. Hundreds of thousands of people speaking with one voice that they will not tolerate what is happening to the Twin Cities right now and to the state of Minnesota. And that is what they wanted to make heard. And one such voice is joining me now. Can I start just by getting your name and spelling, please?
Dawn Drouillard.
And Dawn, how do you spell that?
I go Drouillard, but I go by Dawn Savignon online.
Got it. Dawn.
I just wanted to talk to you because I overheard you talking about that some people don't have gloves out here. Give you a little insight. I was born and raised in northern Minnesota. Most of these people, if you're ice fishing, you can't have gloves on, man. In order to bait your hook, you can't wear gloves. My earliest, most horrible memories of my life were standing on a frozen fucking lake in this state in the 1970s before we had polar fleece and Gore-Tex. So we grew up with this shit. Like, this is like, you know, it's just Minnesota. It's how it is here.
This is just Minnesota. This is life here. Dawn, what did you come out in this wonderfully warm Minnesota weather to be able to say? What was the message you wanted to deliver?
I just wanted to be counted. I just wanted my voice heard, you know, because it's like, I feel like there's only, you know, there's so much help coming in and so much relief, but I feel like I'm not doing enough. What can I do if it's just out here, you know, yelling and being a statistic, literally? I mean, what's the official count here? There's at least 100,000 people here. I mean, if not more. Yeah. Plus, are there 70,000 people inside, too? I mean, I don't even know. It's crazy. And so it's like we have to be heard. We have to be out here. Enough's enough. We have a constitution. The lawlessness, I can't believe that motherfucker is getting away with it. Like, who's going to stop him? And I knew they were going to declare war on us here in Minnesota. We knew it. And here it is. And it's just fucking bullshit we even have to be out here doing this. It's outrageous.
When you say it's fucking bullshit that you have to be out here doing this, when you're saying who's going to stop them, do you feel, it seems like you're implying that you're not seeing the leadership you want to see from the national opposition party, the Democrats? Are you seeing enough action from them?
More money yesterday, correct?
Yeah. You're referencing the fact that these funding bills that have been making their way through Congress and were approved by Congress do allocate more continued funding for all of the Trump administration's agenda here.
And, I mean, it's like we're living in the twilight zone. There's no money for health care. There's no money for schools. There's no money, education, infrastructure, any of the things. But there's enough money for these Gestapo motherfuckers to terrorize us. And they're literally terrorizing us in an American city. It's not right. It's just not right. And, you know, if anybody comes here, I'm sure you've seen, it is so chill here. Like, why is anybody here? Like, if you go to Nicole Good's Memorial, it's just like friendly, nice neighborhood. Why are there anybody here? Why is there any police force here outside of our own? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know what we're going to do, but if we have to do this every fucking day, I mean, we'll be out here every day, you know? I love that it's this cold. It just shows, like, I think there's actually more people out here because it was this cold, because it's like, it's not going to keep me out, you know? I've been ice fishing in warmer, in colder weather than this.
Dawn, you're a hoot. Thank you. Dawn, can I want to ask about your sign. What is that message there? Just walk us through it. Can you read it out and explain why this is the sign you wanted to be holding today?
It says fucking bitch, because Kristi Noem is a fucking bitch. And I think we all know that was what was uttered out of the murderer's mouth after he murdered Nicole Good.
You're talking about ICE agent Jonathan Ross. He videotaped himself during the shooting, and after the shooting, he can be heard on the mic saying of Renee Nicole Good, fucking bitch.
Fucking bitch. So I had seen this picture online of her with her makeup getting like gouged on with like a palette knife, and I'm like, that's pretty perfect. So
thank you
thank you for your work. I've been watching your live stream a lot, and thank you so much for coming out. And everybody's working really hard, and I just, like I said, I wish I could do more. You know, but I think just doing anything is better than sitting and watching the atrocities happen.
Dawn, thank you very much for those kind words. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask, just because you made the point about that there's always money for ICE, but there's never money for, you know, programs that could actually benefit people. What are some ways in your life, or your family's life, or your friends' lives, what are some issues that you or they are facing where some of those billions of dollars that are currently going towards this deportation agenda, how could that money be spent to actually better your life or your friends, your family's lives?
Well, I mean, just not even moving on from healthcare. I mean, it's unreal what we are put through in this nation. And the fact that we are essentially enslaved to no matter what job you're in, no matter what sector you're in, because your employment is, your insurance is tied to your employment. And I was a small business owner. I had a catering company here in Minneapolis for 22 years. I like to think we treated our employees really well. We had benefit packages. And I always felt like it was my duty to be a good boss, to create an equitable, safe work environment that was fair, you know, and supportive. But I was also responsible for their lives, literally, and their families' lives. And I was just one small little company, you know, and every person in this nation, or most people, if you're lucky enough to have a benefit package offered to you, you know, you have it. No one makes a choice based on following their heart, you know, or what they think might be better for themselves. They're just trapped in this never-ending cycle of, oh, my health insurance, oh, my job. It's like no better than being enslaved. You know, and so many people are stuck in lives and jobs that they hate, that they're not being fulfilled or getting anything that they need or want out of it because of their fucking health insurance. And I've been on both sides of it, an employee and an employer, and I'm telling you, you know, when you're responsible for all of your staff and their family as well and their health, it's a strain that it shouldn't be put on small businesses and businesses at all. Certain things should be just provided for us. One of them is clean drinking water, you know, clean air, something to eat, you know, and you can go to the doctor when you're sick. It's insane that there's even another opinion on that to me.
Dawn, before I let you go, is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
I don't know. Just thanks for coming out, and I don't know. I'm so happy there are so many people here, and just doing the work that we can, and you know, hopefully this shit isn't going to go on for very long. But I don't know. We'll just keep on keeping it on because we're not going to fold.
Dawn, thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, before we do more interviews, I really do want to just take a moment here to pay the bills and say, John and I are freezing our ass off here in the cold. Please, if you feel like we've earned it, go to StatusCoup.com/join for as low as $5 a month. You go to support us to help fund the work that we are doing here. All right, so I wanted to bring you two in here, and first I just wanted to start by getting your names and how you spell them.
Wally, W-A-L-L-I. Zack, Z-A-K.
All right, Wally, Zack, why did you want to be out here part of this massive general strike today?
It's wrong. What's going on? Someone has to do something about it, man. Our people are being targeted, and that's not right. So I say to the people of America, fight for your rights and continue to always push and persevere.
Zack, why did you want to be out here?
I mean, this is what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? We got to be out here, we got to show support, we got to come out in numbers when we don't like something. We shouldn't just accept everything the government, you know, tells us to do or whatever they think it's right. Yeah, that's why I came out.
What was the message you came to deliver? You came out here to send a message, I assume, to the federal government. What was that message? Oh, we got signs here.
ICE out now. That's what we're saying. We came out to show people we don't like what's going on. We don't want these people here anymore, and we need them out as soon as possible.
I agree, yeah. What they're doing, they're taking advantage of people who do not have the same rights, and they're taking advantage of them. So yeah, ICE out of Minneapolis. ICE out of Minneapolis.
ICE out of Minneapolis. What are the ways that you have seen ICE agents conducting themselves in these city streets, in these communities, that made you feel that, inspired you to this level of action, to be on the streets in negative 10-degree temperatures? What are some of those ICE agent actions. What are they doing that inspired you to actually be out here today?
They're conducting with fear. They're going around instilling fear into people, having them think that they cannot fight for themselves, and that's just wrong. That's why I believe that if you're instilling people with fear, then that's not what we should be doing. It's not perfect humanity. That's inhumane. Very inhumane.
I had this his home because I had family and friends who are U.S. citizens get stopped by these thugs because of the color of their skin, because of how they look or how they speak, and I don't think that's right.
Not because they're doing anything illegal, not because they are illegal immigrants. These are U.S. citizens you're talking about who are being stopped purely based on the color of their skin because the Supreme Court says that that is okay, and the Trump administration says that that is an acceptable tactic that they are willing to use.
Unacceptable, 100%. I had an uncle who was just at the gas station filling gas, and he got stopped by one of them. Just because of the way he looked. There was nothing about him that gave away he might be here illegally or he might be here legally, but he was a U.S. citizen, and they stopped him just because of the way he looked.
Yeah, I assume just because he is not white is what I would assume.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. And what are the ways that it is? I don't know how old you two are. You seem on the younger side. I don't know. Are you guys in high school or college at this?
20, both of us.
20 years old. So what are some of the ways that you've seen your friends, your family, or maybe even yourselves, how have your lives had to change in response to 3,000 ICE agents being in your communities?
It makes you watch where you move. You're told not to go certain places in fear that you might be attacked. There was a Somali boy who was attacked for just his looks, just being Somali. So that's just not right. That we have to be able to move with fear and be told where to go and where not to go. It's a free country after all.
I've seen people in my community come out in front of elementary school, stand guard, for parents, immigrant parents, coming out to pick up their kids just so they don't get harassed by ICE. I've seen my classmates, my university classmates come out with group chats to show where, ICE are so we could warn anyone, who might be at risk of getting harassed by these thugs.
How does it make you feel to be surrounded by, hundreds of thousands of other people who are out here to say largely the same thing that you are? How does it feel to be a part of this crowd today?
Beautiful, in my opinion. See everyone fighting for the same rights that we all deserve. At the end of the day, we are human. And I think that's the bigger picture, man, that everyone bleeds the same. So if this had to come together and prove that, then so be it.
Yeah, no matter what the people up top, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, no matter what they say, we're together. This personally brings me hope, just, seeing no matter what these people say, that there's still people who care about these stuff, that are willing to come out in negative 12 degrees and protest and show that they care.
You guys aren't wearing gloves either. Why do I keep talking to people who aren't wearing gloves today? Why aren't you bundled up here?
We kind of came around like an if, I ain't gonna lie. We said, why not? Why not fight for our rights? You know what I mean?
Zach, are you going to be okay, man, holding that sign without the gloves, dude?
Hey, man, it's for the greater cause, you know what I'm saying? So I'm willing to, fight through it. But we're about to go get gloves right now.
Mike, please do, and I won't keep you any longer. But before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say while you have the platform?
I think that's all for me.
Hey, man, free Minneapolis, free Palestine. Shout out everyone who's out here. Shout out, just love. We're all human at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you both. I appreciate the time. Guys. Thank you. Woo. But John, just lift this up here. Show the mood in this crowd. We are talking about hundreds of people, if not thousands of people right here in this one intersection. Thousands of people here in this one intersection, all to say the same thing, to express their opposition to the Trump administration and what is happening here in the Twin Cities area.
The reason I'm here today is the Status Coup started last Wednesday. I was sitting at home. I got done volunteering last Wednesday. I went home, I turned on YouTube. There's Status Coup. Covering what's going on with the shooting last Wednesday. And I'm sitting at home, my dumbass. I'm in St. Paul. I don't know my way around Minneapolis. I've been there for 4 fucking hours, feeling like a piece of shit that I couldn't be there. So I'm happy to be here today. And I'm happy to see you.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Erica Crazyhawk. Top is Utah, Chakpi, Creek Sioux Tribe, Dakota exiled from these lands.
Oh boy. So I'm sorry, I can't really hear too well because of all the layers that I am wearing, so I couldn't make out your name just then. But what made you want to be out here as part of the general strike today?
Well, I myself am a Dakota exiled from these lands here, and that these are our people here. These are our relatives here that are getting exiled, and a lot of this is historical trauma to us, and it's triggering. I myself am a mother, and when Renee got shot, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to go and burn that motherfucking fort down. That's what the fuck I want to do, and I'm still gonna fucking do it. So I'm asking you guys to come stand with me, the Dakota, Erica Crazyhawk, Tape Utah, Chalk Baby. Let's get together, let's organize and get this shit shut the fuck down. Get ICE the fuck off our Dakota stolen lands.
You're making a direct call to action there for people to stand with you. Out here are thousands of people standing alongside you. How do you feel when you look out over this crowd and see all of these people?
Well, I feel that unity, that love, that solidarity. You know, Mother Earth feels this too. You know, our ancestors feel this as well. You know, they're loving this right now. They're seeing the world wake up. They're seeing America wake up. I love seeing all these people here coming together like the prophecy says. We will unite under one tree. Where is that tree gonna be at? Well, that tree should be at Fort Snelling Historical Site. That's what I think. That's where my grandfather was hung. So that's what I think, my own self, in claiming land back for our people.
Claiming land back for people?
The Dakota people. For the Dakota exiled. The Dakota exiled that were exiled out here in 1862, 1863. Taking our lands from us. These allotted lands still belong to the Dakota Sioux, the Santee. My grandfathers have allotments here that they took and are holding on to.
How do you see the use of ICE agents here in the streets of the Twin Cities area as an extension or as a continuation of that long struggle that you are making reference to here? Draw that through line in very explicit terms for people.
Well, you know, like I said before, you know, I've gotten arrested out in D.C. like 3 or 4 times, you know, here for declaring an emergency, declaring land back, stopping, you know, the drilling here, what's going on. So yeah, I'm kind of happy that everything came here. You know, I'm sorry that Renee Good got shot and she died. You know, that's the sacrifices that sometimes we have to make for our people, because that's what my ancestors did. So, you know, standing here and being a mother my own self, you know, telling my children I love you today, and that if anything happens to you, to me, know that your mother died trying, all right? I'm a veteran as well, and a teacher.
How does it make you feel? I mean, just the feeling that, like, the idea that you had to tell your children that, or you felt like you had to tell your children, like, hey, if I die, like, just know this. You know, how does that make you feel that you live in a country where that's a very real possibility, where it has happened, you know, to another mother like Renee Good that you just referenced? How does that make you feel about living in a country like the United States?
I think it's fucking sad. I think it's fucking sad that everybody is still siding with President Trump and his administration, because we all understand that this is about fucking money. It's about greed. It's about keeping those files a secret. You know, all of this while we're standing here protesting and marching, we need the rest of the world to wake up and tell them that we need those files released. And yeah, it makes me very angry, but very, very happy to be a Dakota woman in these trying times, in these prophecy times.
When you say, pardon me, the cold makes it difficult to talk, but when you're talking about it's about the greed. You know, can you lay that out a little bit more? Where do you see the greed at play here, the moneyed interests at play here? You made reference to the Epstein files, etc. Can you again just make that explicit for people? Where do you see that at play, the money?
I see the greed right here. You know, the ICE officers, you know, protecting, you know, the other ICE officers and wasting the people's money. So right now what the greed is going is that it's all about the oil. It's all about the minerals. It's all about the military making their equipment, and all those investors throughout all these times profiting off of that. You know, my own son, you know, and my own self, but my son right now is, you know, an active Guards member. And, you know, I have to tell him, This isn't our fight. This isn't our war. I mean, he isn't going across seas to fight other wars. And he isn't going to stand on the front line with the rest of the fucking National Guards and military and sit there and look at his mom straight in the face. No. I mean, like I said, the boarding schools and everything that had happened to our people, it's showing now. The world is waking up. I feel that honor coming, that respect of our people and the history finally coming to light.
How do you feel about the future? Optimistic, pessimistic?
I feel very optimistic that we're going to motherfucking win and we're going to shut this shit fucking down.
What does winning look like?
Winning looks like this. Winning looks like unity. Winning looks like solidarity, love, helping each other out. I'm homeless as well. My mother's up in freaking Anoka in a group home right now, and we're not even allowed to leave and go back to Minnesota. So that's where I'm at right now in my own fight, for my mother and our sovereignty rights right now, because, we're in a different state and it's a jurisdiction issue. So, being here, being with the people, having coffee, thanking all the businesses that let us guys into the door, and all the people and all the marshals and all the speakers. The Dakota people welcome you on these lands, and we thank you for your cheers, your loves, your prayers, and your hospitality.
Thank you very much. And before I let you go, is there anything else you would want to say while you have the platform?
Yep. I'd just like to say that, the Dakota people are going to be working on this thing here called the Red Road Village Project. And what we want to do is take back some of our lands from the Minneapolis and this Minneapolis city, park and boards. We need these lands for our people, for the recovery for our people. We're suffering here. And this is what makes me so sad right now, is watching my own people houseless and being taken and deported right now and being held at Henry Whipple. This is sad. This is sad time, people. Pray for our people. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm taking just a quick break here off to the side of the camera to allow myself to breathe. We were just going there with interviews. I need a chance to breathe, but there are just so many people here. I'll note that the Target Center, where we were just where we are outside of right now, which is meant to be the end point for the march and the rally, has started to clear out now of people, and people are still coming and going from inside the building, likely as a warming center. Which sounds like a good idea at this point. Woo. But I want to get warm. What do you want to do? I want to at least go inside. Let's go inside. John and I are going to try and move inside the Target Center here to use it as a bit of a warming center for ourselves. Doesn't that sound like a great idea? Couch. And there's. Oh God, I gotta interview this guy with the couch.
Hear about how you
Pardon me, dude. I gotta interview you. Yeah. Would you mind?
Fuck Nazis! Fuck JD! Fuck Trump!
And then your what? Sorry.
Oh, my buddy helped me make it. So.
Oh, okay. So first, the camera isn't going to capture the full 360 of the couch that you are wearing on your back.
Yeah.
Can you describe what it says on this and why you wanted to wear it?
Yeah, so I made this in honor of JD's visit to Minneapolis yesterday. And on the sitting side, it says, I'm not your one-night stand, I'm a sofa. And then the other side, my buddy... Right over there we go. Tell them about the side you made.
Well, JD Vance's favorite spot is right around the corner here. You can see some, plant seed. You know what I mean? Fuck white nationalism and fuck Trump and the agenda of the far right. Love thy neighbor. It's the second most important commandment according to the Christianity that they supposedly follow. And what can you say? I mean, it's awful what they're doing. Love thy neighbor.
Why was it important for you to send this message tongue-in-cheek style to the vice president? Why was he the one who got who got who you felt like you really needed to send this message to?
I think JD is particularly vacuous as a person. I mean, he's just a bad guy. And, I don't know, he's smarmy, like the smirk he does, it really grosses me out. And, I wanted to wear a sofa as a symbol of, Minnesotans being tough. We'll bring our ridicule to below zero. We don't give a fuck.
That sense of not giving a fuck is so apparent today on a cold day like this where so many people are out despite the weather.
Yeah.
But I wanted to... Oh, good. I guess I gave you a good time to break then. Come. Good to go. Thank you. All right, bye. Okay. So, just before we lost signal there, I was just asking you for your reaction to JD Vance's remarks that he delivered yesterday, where he tried to make ICE agents sound like the good guys, talked about them rescuing a 5-year-old boy that they were in the process of deporting right now, etc. Really trying to make ICE sound like the good guys. What was your reaction when you heard what the vice president was saying?
I mean, the ease in which he's able to lie and mask and to mask vulnerability, talking about his own kids. His entire retelling of that story was a lie. They were right in front of his house when the kid's father was taken by ICE. The people inside were screaming and crying and asking for them to let the kid come inside, but they didn't. He wasn't left out in the cold. They took him to fucking Texas, and now you have a 5-year-old in a detention camp without his parents. No one knows where he is yet. That's evil. It's profoundly evil. And on top of that, when he's speaking about, the story that I heard, we got to make sure, I got to check in D.C. if it's real about the police officers of color being, literally having these incidences of racially biased reporting. Or the cop that had ICE people, just knock the phone out of her hand. And then as soon as she's told them, I'm a police officer, they ran away, faces covered. It's just weird. It's hard to understand how someone just has no interest in telling the truth or being kind or respecting our rights. It's crazy. And he does it with a goddamn smirk. Fuck him.
That is a very poignant message. I'll turn away from the vice president for a moment.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask, What's your reaction to just seeing so many people on the streets today? I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people who joined the protest today. What was your reaction to seeing this mass demonstration?
I mean, it's great. Honestly, it's what I expect. I'm from here. I live here. We care. I mean, Minnesota, Minneapolis, throughout history, throughout American history, we're a bastion of progressive rights. Like, the progressive movement kind of started here. I'm forgetting the guy who was VP with LBJ's VP? Anyway.
Texting my U.S. history knowledge there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm forgetting. But anyway, we have a long history where, we're a proud, progressive city. I mean, we've got excellent public schools. We have one of the highest theater seating per capita in the country. We're one of the best biking cities in the country. We have a lot to be proud of. And, one of the things we're proud of is that we're one of the few states after the Vietnam War, when our allies, the Hmong people in the hills of Vietnam, were being massacred. I think we're the only state that said, come here. And then also with people from Somalia. They're leaving a war, they're leaving just excruciating, deadly, they might die situations, and they come here and they contribute. Honestly, a lot of the most beautiful women in Minneapolis are from Somalia in that part of the world. Wonderful and important.
Would you support a general strike that lasted longer than a day?
I mean, if people can swing it, if people don't, it doesn't hurt too many people. I'd say why not? I don't know how that would necessarily apply the right kind of pressure. So if I had confidence that it would work, sure.
If you had confidence. Do you have confidence that this is sending a message here today? And if so, what's the message?
I mean, I think it's sending the same message, that we care about each other, and we're not going to be subjugated. We're not just going to sit around and take it. We're going to be mad. We're going to protest. We're going to show up. We're going to show up for our neighbors, for our, for our local Minneapolis. We're going to show up for each other in the state of Minnesota. And this is, in my mind, just a continuation of the scale of that support that is going to continue until they leave.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time. I actually don't know if I caught did I catch your name at the top?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, sorry, what was your name?
Riley Curran.
Can you just spell that for me really quick?
Riley, first name. Last name Curran, Curran.
Riley, thank you very much for your time. Anything else you want to add while you have the platform?
Join the protest. It's fun.
Riley, thank you very much. I'll let you and your couch get out of here.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully that was good.
Right. That's Riley with the couch on his back, sending a very clear message to the vice president. As the people here are sending a very clear message, currently leading chants of ice out here on the street, here on the corner, just outside of the Target Center. I want to make one final pitch to all of you. If you valued the hours of streaming that we did here, of broadcasting, of bringing you this on-the-ground perspective that we did here in the Twin Cities today, for this general strike of these hundreds of thousands of people in the streets in Minneapolis, being able to lift up the voices of these protesters, just common, everyday people who are taking on a federal government, their own federal government, that is supported with billions, trillions of dollars of their tax money. If that work is important to you, please go to StatusCoup.com/join. I'll note that while there is no doubt somewhere here, I did not see them, but no doubt some national media here, what they're going to produce is like a 2-minute little segment for the news tonight. And they're going to lift up, they're going to play like a soundbite from a protester. Maybe 2 sound bites from a protester if they're feeling zesty. But then they're also going to lay out whatever the latest propaganda that's being spewed by the Trump administration and try to make these two sides seem equal, as though 100,000 voices in the street here in Minneapolis is in any way equal to what just a handful of administration officials have to say, as if it carries the same weight. So if us lifting up the voices of people here truly on the ground in Minneapolis is valuable to you, please go to StatusCoup.com/join. For as low as $5 a month, you go to sustain our on-the-ground reporting in negative 10-degree temperatures. The $15,000 a month that costs us to be on the ground and support what we are doing here. Please support us in any way you can. Get subscribed to us. We greatly appreciate it. John and I are going to get warm now, so I want to say, on behalf of myself, on behalf of John Farina behind the camera, on behalf of our whole Status Coup team, the small but mighty team that we have, Jordan, Colin, Michelle, Ty, on behalf of our partners at the Midas Touch Network, who we are reporting in conjunction with, thank you for being with us. In downtown Minneapolis, I'm JT Siskowski. Good night.